Welcome to the Murfreesboro City Council meeting. It's May 23rd. Councilman Wade, you have our prayer and our pledge.
Thank you. Let's pray. Lord, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for letting us see another day. Most of all, we just thank you for what you do. Lord, we ask you to bless this meeting. Let us make the right decisions for the city of Murfreesboro. Lord, we ask you to bless our service providers and for all they do. And Lord, we just say thank you. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Tucker, do we have anyone that signed up for public comment?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, we're going to move to ceremonial items. Randolph.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight, I'm here to recognize the recipient of the STARS Award for the month of April. As you know, the purpose of the award is to recognize and reward those employees who go above and beyond their regular job duties in providing outstanding customer service to both our internal and external customers. Oftentimes, that means showing people that you care. In other words, leading with a caring heart. We've all heard the old saying that sometimes people may forget what you do for them, but they will always remember how you make them feel. Tonight's recipient is a joyful guy who likes to kid around sometimes, but inside he has a very big heart. And tonight we're going to shine on that heart. Tonight's recipient is Mr. Robert Holtz. Robert is the director of the Community Development Department. He's been with the city now for a little bit almost 18 years. In 2015, he was promoted to the assistant director of the Building and Codes Department, and later promoted to the director of the department in 2016. Then in 2023, he transferred to his current role, which again is the director of the Community Development Department, where he's been doing an outstanding job. Robert was nominated by the STARS Award by Myla Grubbs and Jessica Klein, who are employees in his department. Following are the comments that they said about him. Robert goes above and beyond for the clients we serve in the Community Development Department. One of the department's main programs is rehab, which helps low to moderate income homeowners in our community. These clients may have HVAC issues, roof damages, sinking floors, or any number of issues that they cannot afford to repair. Robert not only visits each home and determines the problem and how best to repair it, but he also develops a friendship with the clients and makes them feel confident that he will take care of them. His communication with the clients is always very professional and friendly. Our clients looks at him as a hero. Recently, he helped an elderly couple that had been without heat for 2 years. He also helped another couple get accessible bathroom installed. I could go on and on. It's not just the work he does, it's how he treats people in our community. He represents the city in a positive light. He is a treasure. Well, Robert, besides being a treasure, you are also a star. If you would, stand. So on behalf of the mayor and the council, we recognize you as a STARS Award for the month of April.
You want them to come up here?
Sure, yeah.
Come on, be uncomfortable with me. This is my son, Sean, my daughter, Sydney Alexis, and my lovely wife, Dawn. We're going on 30 years. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. And Robert's been here 28 years, right? So it feels like 19 years, but it's 28 years. And hey, Robert, I think it says a whole lot too that your team, Kevin, Philip, Maria, and Katie from Building and Codes are all here to support you too. So I think that says a lot, and they're rock stars upstairs. So thank you all for coming as well. tuxedo jacket.
Yeah, that's right. No tuxedo jacket.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right,
That was-
you've got 8 items on your consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. All right, we'll move to old business. You have ordinance 24013. This is a fiscal year budget, 24 budget amendment. This is second and final reading.
Move for approval.
Oh, second.
Motion is second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye, we'll move to land use matters. This is ordinance 240Z08, zoning for property along South Church Street. This is second and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Abstain. And I should say, I have nothing to do with this property, but it's adjacent to a property that I own, so out of an abundance of caution, I'm abstaining from this. So, ordinance 240Z09, rezoning property along West Thompson Lane.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. All right, we'll move into new business. You have ordinance 24012, amendment to the International Energy Conservation Code, amended first reading. Kevin?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Our rock star team left me. So that shows you.
Hey, you be sure and tell them tomorrow that it did not go unnoticed, that they,
I appreciate that. So,
especially Katie.
yes, I'll take her chair back.
Okay.
So before you guys is an ordinance that amends a section of our currently adopted energy code. This amendment will no longer require mandatory testing for air duct tightness and overall home leakage on residential construction, but allow for a visual inspection to be conducted instead. If one of our inspectors feel that a test may be required, then it can be requested at that time. This will allow contractors and developers to save time and money. The State Fire Marshal's Office has adopted similar language and recommends that jurisdictions amend accordingly. The town of Smyrna, as well as Rutherford County codes, have amended their energy codes recently, so we're going to do so as well. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Jones?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. Ordinance 24019, school board member compensation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. At your April workshop, you asked that staff, and I think by staff I specifically mean me, prepare an ordinance looking at revising and increasing the compensation for school board members. The ordinance before you is consistent with that request. Currently, school board members are paid $200 for the first meeting of the month and $100 for the second meeting of the month. The board chair receives an additional $50 per meeting, and the monthly compensation for board members is capped at $300 and $400 for the board chair, regardless of how many how many times they meet each month. The ordinance before you would increase compensation for school board members to $400 per month, and it would just be flat that regardless of how many times they meet. And there would be an additional $100 per month for the school board chair. I will note that there, on second reading, I would propose coming back with a slight revision that says that the ordinance takes effect July 1st.
Is that 400 per month or 400 per meeting?
400 per month.
That's still extremely low, but
I've-
yeah. Anyway, okay.
It's up to council. That was,
Yeah.
yeah,
What, do you know what Rutherford County Schools does, what they're,
I don't know.
Based on our understanding, their current pay is $12.50 a month.
okay,
What was it about? Say that again.
1250. We're proposing 400.
Wait, Rutherford County School Board gets $12.50 a month?
Okay.
Yeah, they make more than council members. What's on?
I mean, I just say this, clearly, you're not doing this job for the money, the amount of hours that you put in.
Right.
I will say, I don't, and I read through this, I don't think $400 a month is fair for the amount of time that the school board puts in. And Bill knows, I mean, Trey was just saying that they spent 8 hours going over just the budget alone. So I think, I don't know what a reasonable number is, but I don't think $400 even covers much. So
Dr. Duke, you have any suggestions?
And Shane, that's an
To help
elected.
us,
Yeah, it's elected.
So at planning commission, it's
they're-
$150 a meeting.
yeah, so I mean, and Trey, I know you want to be yeah.
And I will say, when we started having this conversation, I think the conversation was keeping it in line with the other commissions that are on board. And I may be wrong. I think that was the amount that the other highest paid commission had, and I think that's where we looked at that number.
I agree, but those are not elected boards, so,
Yeah.
and I don't, so it seems to me at least $800 a month would be a fair number to at least let them cover their mileage and some of their gas and,
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have to miss work and appointments, and
so.
a lot of them, I'm sure.
I'm good with that, too.
I actually go to substantially more meetings than a lot of our other commissions do, because there's a state school board meeting, a lot of different things that they basically go to as well. So I would be fine with that.
I'd like to make a
Second.
All right, we have a motion for $800 a month. Motion and second, please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater,
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet,
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Wright,
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. That sound you just heard was Butch Campbell passing out after watching this on TV. No.
Phone's going to be lighting up in just a
You
minute.
know, I'm all for, we all sign up for these jobs, so, you know, that's what we signed up for. But I also think the time, we want to be fair. And if you've got a school board that's responsible for overseeing almost 15,000 students, your budget this year, Trey, was how much? Yeah, $112 million budget, an ever-changing educational landscape, a growing system. They're not an advisory board like a lot of our boards that we have. I mean, they are a working board. I think that's a very fair,
They have their own budget that they spend 8 hours working on.
yes, I think that's a very fair number. So,
Wow.
okay.
Thank you to the school board for your service.
All right, we'll go to resolution.
Excuse me, I think there was a vote on the motion. You need to vote on
Oh,
The
the
amended
ordinance.
Okay,
The
yes, so-
amend- The
yeah, so
ordinance
we-
as amended.
we need to vote on ordinance 24019, school member compensation as amended.
Yes.
So moved.
So we've got lots of
Lots of
motions in a
them.
second. Please call the roll. You pick, Aaron.
Okay. Ms. Averwater.
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, resolution 24011, setting the fiscal year 25 water and sewer rate. This is first reading. Mr. Gore.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Got a quick reminder of the water and sewer rate design that we went over at the workshop a couple of months ago, just to refresh everyone's memory. The highlighted column shows the minimum monthly revenue, or the minimum monthly increase for meter sizes 5/8 inch through 6 inch. You can see 5/8 inch is the residential meter, so that's 28 cents per month. On the sewer, similarly, those are the minimum monthly rate increases. Again, the 5/8 inch meters is 28 cents per month for residential. So you can see that the minimum, the current rate is $10.72 per month. We're proposing to go to 11. The commodity charge for water is $3.66 per 1,000 gallons. That goes to $3.70 per 1,000. And again, on the sewer, we're going from $10.72 to $11, and we are not changing that commodity charge. What that looks like over time, this next year, FY25, it's a 79-cent increase to most residential, the average residential bill. That's about just over 1%. And you can see where we've taken this. We intend to take this over the next 5 years for our rate increases. So that's just a quick summary of what the ordinance says, or the resolution says in front of you, and I'm available for questions if you have any.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, please call the roll.
Ms. Overwater?
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. All right, we'll move to Resolution 24R19. This is the Truist Bank credit card authorization.
Yes, this resolution is just designating Mr. Roja and myself as authorized employees to access the commercial credit card accounts with Truist Bank.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, please call the roll.
Ms. Overwater?
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. All right. We'll also, on motion, rental rate adjustment proposed for the airport. Dr. Gerke?
Yes.
Dr. Gerke.
Doctor? Honorary doctor.
I have no idea where that came from.
Mayor and members of the City Council, just as we do every year, the Airport Commission reviews the budget for the airport and looks at our rental rates. And this year, in balance with the other commercial rates and everything, they recommended a 4% increase for the rental rates for various hangars and tie downs. And I included the breakdown of the various units that we have, and it represents just under a $24,000 increase to assist with the airport improvement budget. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer it at this time.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second, please call the roll.
Ms. Overwater?
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. All right, we'll move
Stay at a Holiday Inn Express this weekend, if that matters.
concrete and storm drainage contract award. Mr. Griffith.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the City Council, have for you tonight the award of the annual concrete and storm drainage contract to Rollins Excavating. Staff advertised this contract, and 2 bids were received on May 14th of this year. Rollins was the lowest responsible and responsive bid in the amount of $1,879,600. This contractor has successfully completed numerous concrete, storm drainage, and capital improvement projects under this contract for several years, a couple of decades actually. The primary funding source for this contract is through the state street aid, which is our local share of the state's gasoline tax. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second, please call the roll.
Ms. Overwater?
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, let's move to sewer allocation variance, Joe B. Jackson Parkway, Wood Spring Suites.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This afternoon, I'm bringing before you a request from Arnold Consulting Engineering Services on behalf of Wood Spring Suites, who are requesting an additional 38 single-family units of sewer capacity in order to build a hotel along the south side of Joe B. Jackson Parkway. Our Water Resources Department has reviewed the request and has confirmed that the existing system can't handle, or that the system can handle the increased flow from this development pending improvements to the county farm pump station. The Murfreesboro Planning Department has also reviewed the application and supports it as well. I'm available if you have any questions.
Any questions?
If there are none, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion second, please call the roll.
Ms. Overwater?
Aye.
Ms. Scales Harris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Wright?
Aye.
Mayor McFarland?
Aye. All right, we'll move to the purchase of LED high mast lighting.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. On April 18th, council approved the terms and conditions for Department of Energy Efficiency and Conservation block allocation for an awarded amount of $190,230. Staff issued an ITB and 4 bids were received. Graybar Electric was selected as the lowest responsible bid. Staff seeks to upgrade high mast lighting at the interchanges of I-24 New Salem and and I-840 and Broad Street by retrofitting LED technology. The new lighting will also earn the city TBA credits in the amount of $15,551 that will be credited to the city's electric bill over a 12-month period. The total project cost is $174,290. Therefore, this purchase is 100% federally funded. I would like to give a shout out. She's not here, but Karen Lambert did all the heavy lifting on this grant. So I just want to give her a shout out for all her hard work and let y'all know that. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Are these going to be the cool blue lights like we had on Medical Center? or
No, sir.
Hashtag bring back the light.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater.
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, contract with TDOT for matching transit facility funds.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. The Transportation Department is recommending your approval of a contract with TDOT for matching funds in the amount of $532,172. The proposed contract replaces a previously approved contract from FY21, which has since expired. The state funds provide half of the 20% match required in the federal grant. The remaining match is paid by the city. The purpose of these funds is to support construction costs, construction administration, and planning activities. This expenditure is accounted for in the department budget. And again, we recommend your approval, and I'll be happy to take any questions.
No question? Go ahead. If no questions, I move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater.
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, we'll move to item 21, Oakland Court Stormwater Participation.
Mayor, council, thank you again. This is a project that you all approved $150,000 for back in October of 2020. You can see the construction of the bioswales, which are effectively taking the runoff, the stormwater runoff off the streets and putting them into these planter-type beds. We received a final invoice cost of $309,137 in October of 2023. So we're requesting your approval for the additional $159,137 from the Stormwater Fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater.
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Wade.
Aye.
Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye.
Thank you.
I don't think we have any board and commission appointments.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Any licensing?
Yes, we have 3 regular beer permits for 1 new location of a restaurant located at 805 Old Fort Parkway, a new location of a vape store located at 1675 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, and an ownership name change for a grocery market located at 904 Northwest Broad. We have 5 special event beer permits for Oakland's Association for multiple dates. Applicants have met requirements for permits and are recommended for approval pending final building and code inspections for the regular beer permits and special event permit for the special event beer permits.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Please call the roll.
Ms. Averwater.
Aye.
Ms. Gels Harris.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shacklet.
Aye.
Mr. Wade. Mr. Wright.
Aye.
Mayor McFarland.
Aye. All right, any other business from staff? Any other business from council? All right. If Dr. Gerke's okay, we'll stand adjourned.